I think it's going to be one of those tournaments where like nobody goes undefeated.
There have been a lot of players withdrawing. Fortunately, as we've gotten, I think, our complete list, it's not too bad, but it was a little upsetting for a minute. So we got Crosby in, Rantanen in, Pietrangelo out, Doughty in for him, Quinn Hughes out, Jake Sanderson in for him, Rasmus Ristolainen out. That was the one that really hurt me. Nicolas Matenpalo, what?
You can't say shit like that. Man. Come on.
Why?
That's the one that really hurts you?
You're sitting there,
Come
like,
back,
you know
come
what, Quinn
back.
Hughes, whatever, I don't care.
Yeah, no,
You can't take Rasmus Ristolainen away from us.
Do you know Finland's defense situation?
Yes, I do.
Risto was going to be like
He was going to play 29 minutes a night.
That was going to rock.
You said, do you know Finland's defensive situation? And Risto's the guy who really hurts them on that
That's
list.
what I'm saying.
No, yes, because
we knew about Heiskanen more longer tail on that. Yeah,
I've seen Miro Heiskanen be a top pairing, awesome guy. Like, I know what that's going to look like. And really, Heiskanen was going to suck in this tournament because he was going to be playing 90 minutes a game and he was going to be put in impossible situations. We do have some lines. We've got Canada's lines are amazing because their roster is amazing. Reinhart, McDavid, Marner, Stone, Crosby, MacKinnon, and then we discuss Seth Jarvis quite a bit with Brad Marchand on tomorrow's show, and he must be elated because he wanted to play with Seth Jarvis, and now he is. Jarvis Point Marchand, which is interesting to me because we're getting right-wing Marchand. You don't see that every day. Hagel, Sorelli, Bennett, and on the back end, Taves Makar, Theodore Doughty, Morrissey, Parayko, and then Hill, Binnington, Montembeault. Does that suggest Aiden Hill might be the guy?
That was the guy on the ice of practice today.
Yeah, that was just the order that Chris Johnston tweeted him.
I mean, given the other two choices, I think you gotta have to go with Aiden Hill, right?
Yeah, but if you're
I'm surprised it's not Binnington.
Yeah, like I'm not putting Binnington on that roster to be a backup.
Well, so here's the thing: is like what Blues fans basically say about Binnington is like, oh yeah, no, there's going to be a game where he stops like 42 of 45. He goes absolutely psycho, and then there's another game where he stops 18 of 21, and you're like, well, wait a second.
What was the point in this?
If you're playing a what's basically a 3-game tournament plus a championship game, the idea that you could roll the dice with Jordan Binnington in any one game could completely fuck you.
I'd be remiss if I did not bring up the Canadian power play, which is Makar, Reinhart, MacKinnon, Crosby, McDavid.
Outrageous. McDavid and Reinhart are going to be awesome together this tournament. That's going to be one of the most fun things to watch.
Yep.
The Canada lines are unbelievable, especially that middle six. Like that middle six is going to be a fucking nightmare for every team that they play, just based off of like the identity of those players and how much they are going to be in your shit all game long.
Especially that second line is like, you can touch the puck. I don't think you'll be holding it for very long. Like you can get your stick on it in a way that would like the refs would stop it if there was a delayed penalty. But like possessing the puck, carrying it through the neutral zone, those guys are like,
if
not
you
let
just
that happen.
visually, and hopefully everybody's watching and subscribed on YouTube, I'm just using my finger to lop off the top line and looking at it as though their first line is Mark Stone, Crosby, MacKinnon.
Still good.
Their second line is Jarvis, Point, and Marchand. And their third line, you're like, I don't love Sam Bennett there, but whatever. That's going to be cool. And then you're like, wait, now just bump all those down. And Connor McDavid is Canadian.
Yeah,
he'll be playing with Sam Reinhart and Mitch Marner. Dear freaking God. I know that there's been a lot of laughter and jokes about Canada, mainly because the goaltending situation was up in the air. I've been saying since Jump Street, that's not going to prove to be as big a deal as we all thought it was.
It either is or like that's the thing,
their
right?
group of goaltenders is obviously bad or relatively bad to the United States.
I think you were safe the first thing you said. I think you were safe to just say it.
Not bad
for an international tournament. That's bad.
Yeah, fine. Yeah, that's fine. Fair.
Everybody's favorite Canadians prospect.
They may not be like they may not be giving up the puck for very long.
That's what I
there's
mean.
not going to
Like-
be a lot of shots on net. And maybe to your point about Binnington, like the fewer shots that Binnington faces, maybe the worse that he is. Like he probably relies on a heavy workload where he gets into a rhythm.
I guess
maybe
I'd have
that's
to
why
look.
you go Aiden Hill. But like, yeah, the goaltending thing could be
Aiden
less
Hill
of
had
an
a lot
issue
of
than we
success.
expected based off of how much this team has the puck.
Yeah, Hill had a lot of success playing behind a team that didn't let you anywhere near the net.
Yeah.
In a recent playoff. So
Sean, do we have USA lines? Okay, give them to me. Jack Eichel between Kyle Connor and Matthew Tkachuk. Ugh.
this is one of those classic things like when you get a line chart at a college game
Yeah.
and they're like, oh yeah, Jack Eichel's on our third line. And you're like, come on, man. Like we know who's going to be playing 26 minutes a night.
Right.
It's Auston Matthews.
Yeah.
Jack
Auston
Hughes and
Matthews
Jake
between
Gensel.
Gensel and Jack Hughes. JT Miller between Brady Tkachuk and Matt Boldy. I absolutely love that. Trocheck, Nelson, and Larkin on the back end.
It did say Larkin and Kreider were rotating in and out. So
Oh, okay. Cool.
Interesting.
I am loving these defensive pairings.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Slavin and Fox. Werenski, McAvoy. I know that McAvoy isn't having the greatest season, but international competition, that's where that young man shines. Playing with the second best defenseman in the NHL this season, that's going to rule.
Second or third, yeah.
Hannafin, Faber, very fun. And then Connor Hellebuck with Ottinger and Swayman also in the mix. Man, I love those defensive pairings. That's my main takeaway. But what do you have fun with, RL?
I just look at this is one of those things where I think the Athletic did something yesterday where it's like make a trade.
Mhm.
It's like, you want our backup goalie? We don't need. We got the big man.
We had this conversation months ago.
Yeah, we were like, the USA should be like, we'll give you Ottinger.
Ottinger for Braden Point. Straight up, let's do this.
But you'd be like, Ottinger for MacKinnon. You need a goalie.
Yeah,
We will fleece you in this deal.
sure.
Ottinger for MacKinnon. That would be awesome.
I looked at the USA lines, and I still stand by what I said when we did projected lines a little while ago. Give me Brady Tkachuk, Jack Eichel, Matthew Tkachuk. That would be a fucking nightmare.
It really would be.
That would be
How
the
do you
best.
how do you end a shift with three guys lying on top of the other goalie? You know what I mean? Like,
Yes. Amazing.
So, I feel it's kind of I have like opposite feelings about the USA roster that I do about Canada. Like Canada's absolutely stacked up front, and I love their line combinations. Their back end is good, but like not like hit you in the face good, and their goaltending sucks. The back end for USA is unbelievable. The defensive pairs I love,
and that's without the
goaltending is
best
crazy.
defenseman in the league over
I
the last
know.
2 seasons,
I
right?
know, I'm
Like it's
so pissed that Quinn Hughes is not
it
playing.
sucks, man.
Who do you think wins Saturday night in Montreal on Canadian Flag Day? Anthem's going to be booed out the wazoo. It's going to be a whole scene. USA, Canada. Who do you think wins?
Probably Canada.
Hometown calls?
Yeah.
Home
Well,
country
that and they
calls?
get last change, and presumably.
But the thing was, like, last change in this tournament is bonkers because
Yeah, you're
even if
playing,
you, like,
it's an
you
all-star
choose
game, I
your
understand.
matchups, you're like, nice. We got away from Auston Matthews, so now we have Jack Eichel on our case.
Well, it's more we got away from Vince Trocheck, and now we have or the other way
Yeah.
around. And it's like there are levels there, you know. Less so with the Canadian line matching.
who do you think wins the tournament?
Probably the U.S.
Yeah, I think we all
Probably.
probably lean probably U.S., but Canada wouldn't surprise me.
I think it's going to be one of those tournaments where like nobody goes undefeated. Would be kind of my guess.
Mm.
Do you think intensity level is high?
I think it will be for the Sweden, Finland, and Canada U.S. games, and then we'll wait and see. You know, maybe the U.S. Sweden game because it's Pettersson versus Miller. But
If you get half of the games being like highly competitive, highly intense, I think you absolutely take that.
sure, yeah, and then obviously the championship game,
Right.
you
That's
get
why
the trophy.
That's
at
why I
the
say
end of
like
it.
half the games.
Yeah, I think that's about right.
do you think Finland will win a single game?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Their goaltending is very
Who?
good.
Who do they beat?
Sweden?
Sweden or like
I could see
I could see
Canada,
them beating.
like,
I could see
laying an
anybody
egg.
beating anybody in any
Yeah.
given game. Like it's
Finland beating, and I am probably pulling for the United States in this one, not to brag. Finland beating USA wouldn't surprise me.
I mean, that team beating anybody would surprise me.
You think they're going to go over?
Yeah.
I mean, their defense is
their
such a
defense is
nightmare.
just so
They have to
atrocious.
be
It's not good.
I mean, they have to be a DFSing favorite to go over. I would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. They're gonna be.
Because
They're
like,
gonna be
not going to be favored in any game.
Yeah,
they
exactly.
play.
They're gonna be a dog in every game.
But what if it's some like Miracle on Ice shit where a bunch of like Maple Leafs 7th defensemen end up being able
They
to,
all block 26 shots apiece. Yeah, absolutely.
Oh,
I
who's
mean,
their coach? Who's Finland's coach? Just get him to play hard. That's what you got to do. You got to get him to play
Torts
hard.
coaching Finland.
Yeah, why not?
Oh yeah.
I mean, if we're talking about the injury potential of any of these teams, it's probably going to be Finland and like one of the defensemen who is just absolutely eating shots for 60 minutes.
I mean, all their defensemen are injured before the tournament even started.
that's
So
right.
the guys that are going to play have to go.
Antti Pennanen is the head coach. Of
Oh, yeah, we all know who
That
that
guy,
is. For
yeah.
sure.
Oh, yeah.
Definitely.
Antti got to be pro shot blocking.
Yeah.
That's just
He is the head coach of Alvis of the Finnish Liga.
Ilves, I believe, is who's saying, "What does the fox say?" Correct?
Yes.
He is
You
the
should have gone with an
he is
Elvis joke
the
first.
Yeah, that's.
Finnish.
I was teeing up. He's white. You remember from that movie?
He's the Finnish men's national junior team head coach.
Ah,
Okay.
We all silly like the mayor.